The NBA playoffs mean next level basketball. Get ready for all the action by betting at Play-In Tournament with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, National Basketball Association. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. That means right now. You clinch a win no matter what. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers also can bet on NBA hoops with the same game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Plus, for each day of the play-in, get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code GetSome. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the play-in tournament and get $150 in free bets instantly. Again, that's promo code GetSome at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Hey, what's up, everybody? My guest week is Matt Walsh. He had to text his brother
Golfing
right when we
tomorrow.
start.
I had to,
Priorities.
Well, he was on the bubble for golf, and then my buddy canceled, so now he's in. So I just had to execute. So he's committed. So we have the foursome.
I love how you're so polite. You're like, oh, man, I just got to finish this text. I go, bro, you can text on air. You can take phone calls on this show.
This show is very informal. Okay. All right. I'll stick around all day.
Yeah, it's a podcast. We can edit it out. You say something you don't like.
Is it a video cast or a podcast?
It's both.
It's both. Okay.
Yeah, we do it all. We go
I
to
have one of
YouTube.
those too, actually, a video cast podcast.
You want to pump it?
Yeah. It's called Second in Command. And we rewatch. It's one of those rewatch podcasts, and we're going to rewatch every episode of VEEP.
Really?
Yeah.
And comment on it behind the scenes type
well,
stuff?
yeah, we talk about and we get guests. We get cast from the show and directors and Armando, the creator of the show. So we're going to go through. We're about into season 3 now.
So do you have like a cult fan base?
Yeah,
in
it's
that show?
diehard people who like the show and like political comedy fans. And then we take fan questions like once every month. Like we'll do an episode that's just fan questions and stuff like that. But it's been fun, and I do it with Tim Simons, who's also from VEEP, so the tall guy.
Did you know when you got that part, it would, like, nobody knows,
Yeah,
like, you get these force of nature shows?
yeah.
Did you have a feeling?
I always knew it'd be funny because Armando is such a talented writer, creator, and I'd known the Alan Partridge Show. Did you know that show with Steve Coogan? That's like a great British comedy show where Steve Coogan plays this character, Alan Partridge, who hosts. You follow his life. He hosted a popular, I think it was a sports show, and then next season he's going lower on the run. Then he's on a radio show, and then he's like, but he's still kind of an asshole. And you just see his demise. But it's this character that they keep putting in different situations. So anyways, that's how I knew Armando. So I was very excited to be a part of anything he was doing. So I was excited about that. And then you don't know if something's going to be funny, but you don't know if people are going to care about it. That's my answer. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
could see that.
I was confident it would be funny because Julia was in it, and she's at the center, so she's amazing. But you don't know if people are going to watch it or care about it as much as they did.
Well, I know my ex-wife.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
Okay.
It's great. She's the one that was like, yo, have you seen this show VEEP? And I was like this. Because usually, up to that point, most things based out of the White House was dramas.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even thinking comedy the first time I watched it. I was like, yo, is this supposed to be a comedy? Or is my sense of humor just warped right now?
Yeah.
This because everything was just serious coming out of the White House. And this was just like something, I mean, so to get a script and be like, wait a minute, it's a comedy and we're really in the White House?
Yeah.
Did you have to audition for it or was it just
Yeah.
offered?
Oh, no, I had to audition. I had to go
Like, how
back
many times?
I think like 4 times. Yeah, 4 rounds. You go in once, then they winnow it down, then you come back, and then you meet Julia, I think at the second one, and then you keep going through. Yeah.
Did you have a feeling?
I really wanted it, and I really loved the character, and I felt like because I was good at improvising, like, coming up with material, which is the way Armando, the creator, worked. He wanted people who could sort of fill in the gaps in the concept and in the script. So I was confident in my ability to like be playful and improvise dialogue. So I felt I had a really good shot, but I didn't know for sure.
So when I went to your IMDb, I wanted to, highlight some stuff, and I was going, Jesus Christ, Mac.
I have 3 kids.
When did you have time?
I have 3 kids, so
I was like-
I like working, and I've done a lot of things.
I
yeah.
was like, that's the first thing I was going to ask you. When did you have time to create the kids?
My wife did
You're
it.
working a lot.
My wife did it. I just showed up one night, and then she did the rest.
It's just like constant. I was like, and I noticed like you work with is it by accident you've been in quite a few Will Ferrell movies?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, I guess age-wise, where he was sort of, every great comedy seemed to be made by like Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson for like, 10 or 20 years.
Yeah.
So I was working in comedy at that time, so I was probably going to work with Will Ferrell or Ben Stiller at some point. You know what I mean? And I do know Will. I run into him around town, and I have worked with him a bunch of times. So we are like friendly. I wouldn't say friends, but we're definitely friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get started? Like growing up in Illinois, was the goal
Good
always to be
IMDb
an actor?
research. Good IMDb
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
I think the goal to be an actor probably hit my last, in high school, we got to do like a comedy show, and that was like the bug. We got to make
Like a
fun.
sketch?
We got to make fun of the teachers in the high school variety show, and that was like a real high to like write our own material and then perform it, and then like have people the next day go, "You were so funny, you're so good at this," and it was like very gratifying, and it felt like, oh, I could do this forever. And then during college, I just pursued psychology. I wanted to be a psychologist. I took like 1 acting class, and then after college, I kind of got back into acting. And Chicago's a great theater town, and it's a great improv town, and it's a great comedy town, and you don't need to have a lot of money to survive. So I did a lot of like experimental theater and like weird musicals, and I did stand-up. So I knocked around and, lived cheap for a few years, and then I eventually moved out to New York and like caught some breaks on TV.
Chicago's one of them cities, man. Like the talent that comes out of that place.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it until you start looking back. It's just like, even right now, like so many comedians I'm like, God, you got someone like Lil Rel Howery, who's just in every movie I see now. He's almost like the black version of you. Like,
his IMDb page is like 100 entries.
Yeah. But when he's your friend, and you've seen him come up, you're like this. Oh, you got another movie, Lil Rel. And hold on. And then you'll see like, he's in Germany for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden he's in like Milwaukee for 2. I go, and you'll hit him up and be like, I thought the movie's in Germany. He goes, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm on the next one. I'm like, holy cow, dude, slow down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chicago just has a history. Did you start in sketch or stand-up?
I started in sketch. I started in like improv and sketch, and I was doing shows at little clubs, a place called the Roxy, and then a place called the Annoyance Theater, which did like kind of like funny, dirty musicals, and then place called Improv Olympic, and then I started a sketch group called Upright Citizens Brigade, and then we moved out to New York together.
The whole brigade?
The 4 of us. Yeah, it was like being in a band. Yeah, we tried to get like a TV show together, so we decided to move either to LA or New York, and so we decided to go to New York, because New York has more of a, a theater audience. You can get people to return, whereas LA, people come out for a showcase, or at least for sketch back then when I was starting. They would come for a showcase, but you couldn't like build an audience, a following.
Yeah.
And we wanted to build a following. So
where's the other brigaders?
They're all around. Amy Poehler was a brigader.
Really?
Yeah, she's doing really well. Ian Roberts was head writer on Key and Peele, and he's a really funny performer as well. Matt Besser is around. He does stand-up.
Also, everybody's still in the business.
Still in the business, yeah.
Because I often wonder, like, as a stand-up, you think about, I started in San Diego.
Okay.
So you think about the guys you started with, and then you got like 4 or 5 that I still see around, still doing it, right? And sometimes I wonder, what happened to the other 50 that I started like open micing with, and did they go a different route? Did they just get out of the business?
Yeah.
It's just interesting to think where you start when you're grinding and those late nights, and I don't know if you guys were writing sketches,
Sure.
apartments and diners and stuff.
Sure. I think it's a willingness. I don't know. It's luck, as you know. You meet people and they give you an opportunity. I also think it's like your willingness to be poor and just to be focused for a while your other friends are like, like getting houses or settling down with wives, and you look at that life and you're like, damn, that would be nice to have that life. But you stay with it if you're like really obsessed, or if you understand, like for me, I didn't have a lot of other skills that I was going to be great at. Like I tried to be a psychologist, and I worked on a psych ward for like a couple years with adolescents, and I was taking post-grad courses trying to, get my way to a psych degree or, a psychologist degree. But I couldn't handle that. Like I knew like that's really intense and that's too hard.
Yeah.
So I decided to focus more on comedy at that point.
I mean, I think stand-up, comedic acting, whatever, it's in you. And like when you're talking about looking at people like houses and kids and set on down, but do you think you'd be happy?
No. But
right?
You were never tempted? You were never like you're stuck in a shitty hotel in like, I don't know, Ohio somewhere, and like guys are going out to a strip club and you're like, I'm good, and then you're like depressed because your set sucked? You never were like,
I never doubted it, Matt.
Screw this profession. You never once?
Never once said,
who are you, Tom Brady? Jesus,
nah.
you have laser focus.
Matt, I'm talking high school, I used to tell girls, you should date me. I'm going to make it. Be a comedian.
Really? In high school you knew?
In high school. My 6th grade gym teacher, first day of school, I'm talking while he's talking. He goes, hey, I'm talking, were you going to be a comedian or something? I go, yeah. And literally, he'll tell the story this day. He goes, I had to switch gears because you just looked at me like, yeah. And I was just thinking like what you said about watch people with houses and stuff. I joined the military after high school, but I was more like, I always knew I wanted to be a stand-up. Yeah. Always, there was not a doubt. There was no doubt. Like, I'll make it. I don't know how.
So how does comedy play out in the military? You got to pick your moments?
Yeah, well, crazy. My nickname was Smiley. Yeah. Because I couldn't stop smiling.
Okay.
It was just like, and I was always cutting up. I got in trouble because I was always cutting up. It goes back to...
But did it bum out your platoon mates? Like, now we got to do more running in the ring because you're smart.
They couldn't stay mad at me.
Really?
They couldn't stay mad, Matt. They'd be like this. Ah, shit, that's Gary. It was hard to... It was Gomer Pyle-ish.
Yeah.
It was like, we can't stay mad at the guy.
Okay. So you were optimistic and positive, and you were a likable guy that they didn't, like, shun you.
Yeah, but I also thought...
Not like Full Metal Jacket hold you down and hit you with...
No, I did that. Wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But I also was under the impression that all the comedians got along and we all just were super supportive of each other. And I go, oh, this could get cutthroat.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. So like, I thought when you got to LA, everyone was like, everybody together. And it is a supportive community. I think actors, actresses, and comedians, for the most part, supportive.
Yeah.
You root for each other. But on the way up, that's when I was like, oh, wow. This is
tough.
Yeah. You can get accused of a lot of stuff. You hear about guys joke stealing and things like that. And I'm going, oh, I didn't know this stuff even existed.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Now, you've done stand-up though also, right?
Yeah. I did that in Chicago for a while, yeah.
And
but like for only like a year and a half, I think.
And you didn't, you never caught the bug, like I just want to do this?
No, I think stand-up's the hardest art form for me, like for anyone. I have tremendous respect for people who can go up solo and like own the audience and break them down or like turn any room onto their side. Like that's a tough skill. I'm more of a character actor, comedian, Hold
on, say that again about stand-up.
I have.
I'm just gonna look right at make sure the camera's right on me when he's talking.
Which one? Which camera do we want?
Go on him and then come to me. I'm gonna break the fourth wall.
I have
say what
tremendous respect for anybody who can sustain a stand-up comedy career. It's one of this one now. It's one of the hardest careers, and it's not easy to do.
No, it's not, Matt. It's not easy to do.
Fuel on the fire. It is.
You're right, Matt. It is the hardest art form.
I think it is one of the hardest. I do.
But it's crazy for me to hear like a comedic actor who's you worked with all the big comedic actors and actresses, and then to me it's just like when I hear people say things like stand up is the hardest art form. To me, acting's harder for me. I would think what you do, that's a lot harder for me than just to go up and tell jokes.
Yeah, I think the rejection in a way, if you're a stand-up, is more personal. That's what's hard about it. Like for me, I like hiding behind a character. I guess everybody's a little shy, but I feel like I'm a little shy when I perform. Like I'd rather play someone and completely escape into that because I don't necessarily find my own self that interesting, or I don't want to put my own self out there and expose my own self in that way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's why I enjoy acting. I like the escape of it. And in terms of sketch, you have partners on stage. So if you're stuck in Pennsylvania and your show didn't go well, at least you have another guy to go to the bar with. or a few people in the show to commiserate with, you know?
Do you got like any like horror? It's always interesting to me to find like just a horror audition story. Like, oh shit. You get a bad audition, you feel like you're never going to work again the rest of your life sometimes.
Like audition stories, I don't know. Like commercials are rough because you know, like it's a numbers game. Like, you know, showing up at an audition and they're like, okay, put on the frog costume. And you're like, all right, this is this is my lot in life. I'm going to be a frog if I get this. So those are like moments. But, you know, stand-up gigs, I remember eating it as a stand-up. That's tough. You know, I can think of shows where I think I was put as a headliner and I just brought friends with me because I didn't have 45 minutes of material.
Oh, really?
So I was just kind of like doing sketches where the audience would interrupt me and then we would do like a puppet show and then I would play like a Vietnam veteran clown or something. You know, it was just like fly by the seat of my pants. And I also think the honing of joke material, you really have to love it. Like I like writing and script writing, but I don't collect, like my friends who are stand-ups, they'll remember a joke that I may have done, say, at an open mic where I was playing a character. They'll be like, that was a funny joke you did 2 years ago. They'll remember it and they appreciate the gem of that joke and it hits them and it sticks with them. So I don't necessarily have that gene either. Like I can write scripts well and I can edit well and I think I'm a very good, you know, comedy writer, but the joke format for stand-up, I don't think I have the passion for honing it and like really working it like you need to have.
That's interesting. 'Cause people always, it's funny when I see list and they'll say like the top, especially in the social media age, of like the top 10 stand-ups or who's the funniest people on the planet. And like 3 of them will be like comedic actors. And as a comedian, you'll be going like this. He doesn't do stand-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a comedic actor. He doesn't do stand-up.
No, I have a friend who, not because it's me, but this guy John, who's like, he saw me do a stand-up like 15 years ago, and he's like, that's still one of the funniest jokes. I don't even remember what the joke is, but like, they remember people's material and they appreciate like a perfect joke in such a way, or they collect them, like the minute it happens in real life, they'll write it down and use it maybe in their material or their set that night. So I don't have that either. Like I think you have to have that. You have to go, that's so valuable. I got to write that down.
Yeah. I was talking to Michael Ealy. You know who Michael Ealy is?
I don't know if I do. I guess not.
You know if you saw him.
Okay.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
A lot of stuff. But he was saying, I said, do you like working with actors or comedians better? Because he's done both. He's done dramatic stuff and he's worked with we did Think Like a Man together, so that's where I got to know him. He said, comedians, man, he goes, I'd rather just work, not rather, he goes, actors, I know what I'm getting because they're going to kind of stick to the script a little bit. And if we do ad-lib, it'll be like collaborative. He goes, comedians, man, he goes, I got to take a deep breath. He goes, because sometimes you guys are like, you just don't care. And there's no like, you're going to try something and if it don't work, hey, we'll do it again. Next take. He goes, it's like you're on what is that? You're walking the wire with no net.
Yeah.
He goes, God, you guys that's what he said. He goes, you guys are fearless. You just dive right in and boom.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never even thought of it like that. I've always thought as comedians and you being a comedic actor, I thought that's part of the reason why we got hired. Like you said with VEEP, is to fill in those moments and they're trusting you to make them, hey, the writer, you're making them look brilliant.
Yeah.
Right now by filling in those gaps.
But there's like what I call real actors who like can take a script and bring it to life through like homework and understanding and a point of view, and they have this intensity and the way they deliver the lines, it's incredible. Like because they do all that work, and so they have this whole performance prepared, like a set for a stand-up. They have this whole performance set and ready to go. And if you're in a scene with them and you're kind of leaving that and you're fucking it up, it's kind of like, I don't get to tell my jokes now because Johnny Comedians wants to show off his skills here. He wants to dunk on me for a while.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hold on. I'm sitting here going like this. Oh, I think I've done that a few times, Matt.
So that's why that makes sense. Like,
so somebody's been up all night like, oh, I'm going to kill it with this scene, and here comes a comedian.
Yeah, here's a great moment. And they love like handwork, you know, like I'm making a sandwich the whole scene, like all this activity, like real actors fill it up with the smallest stuff too. They're like really into it. So when he says that, I'm going to turn with the plate, and he never said it, so I don't get to do my turn with the plate. You know what I mean? Like they love that stuff.
Have you ever worked with anybody, like I've always heard like Daniel Day-Lewis just dives right in.
Never worked with him.
Have you ever had anybody just never broke character?
Oh, like on set, couldn't drop it?
Like I heard Jim Carrey did that with Man on the Moon.
I think the closest was like Hugh Laurie was on VEEP. He's a great actor, British guy, but he stayed in his American accent when he was on set the whole time. He's a British guy. When he talks naturally, he talks wonderful. You know how British people sound. They sound very educated and smarter than you. And when he was on set hanging out, he just kept his American accent because it was easier for him to stay in that accent. So that's like the closest.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think the British guys come over here and crush it with the American accents, but I don't think a lot of Americans are going over to England.
It's true.
And killing it with the British accents. Like, I'm always shocked when Idris Elba talks.
Yeah.
And not even just English, like Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I had no clue. And then when I saw him in an interview and he's talking, he struggles with the word family. Watch Sons of Anarchy, he goes, my family. I go, oh, he's struggling with that word. You disrespected my family.
Yeah.
I was like this. Oh, he's struggling right now.
Yeah. That's funny.
Because I don't think I know of a lot of American actors going over to England. I mean, do you think they take the craft more serious or they're trained from an earlier age?
No. I think American actors are as good as British actors, sure. Like, I don't think there's any advantage growing up in England in terms of becoming a better actor. I don't know why they come over here to speak American. I don't have a good answer. All I know is that you can bait any good English actor if you give them like a big Southern character role. They would love to play it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a great way. If you're a screenwriter and you want to get, who's like a great English actor? Like, who would you love to get in a movie? Like, who's one of the best English actors off the top of your mind?
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, exactly.
Not saying it because they've got the same last name. Not just saying it because they have the last name. Not just saying that.
Fair enough. You could bait him if you created a script where he gets to play like a good old boy Southern sheriff, because I think they love that.
Yeah.
Because they don't get to do that.
Right.
And so I think that's one maybe they like it. Maybe there's something about the American accents or, regional dialects that are more interesting. I don't know.
Or more opportunity, maybe?
Well, there's more shows. Obviously, more television gets made over here than over there.
I was shocked that it's a teenage show. My kids was watching it called All American on CW. It's a football show.
Oh.
The lead is this young kid from England, and he's playing this kid who's supposed to be from LA. And I saw him on one of the talk shows, and when he first came out, I go, what the? That guy's from England? And then he explained how he didn't know American football. Oh, when he had to learn the sport. I go, well, he crushed that fucking audition.
Yeah.
To not know, he said, that was the hardest part. He goes, it wasn't, they said the same thing. Was it the accent? What was the hardest part? He goes, learn American football. He goes, I grew up in England. We never had it, never watched it, didn't know the sport. He goes, and to see it, he goes, the ball goes forward? Wait a minute. And he had to learn football. Yeah. So now when you see stuff like that, now when I watch the show, I'm like, oh, I see he struggled with that throw right there. Stuff like little things.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, now you notice.
It's not a natural?
It's not fluid.
Okay.
Him playing football, it's just not fluid. And I wish I wouldn't have saw the interview because I probably wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
But now I'm just bringing it down and go, oh, yeah. There was definitely a take two on that run.
That is hard if you have to play an athlete. I saw, what was that? They did what was the Kurt Warner movie that came out? That guy,
I just watched it on the plane today.
Zach Levy. I thought Zach Levy did a good job.
Yeah, American Underdog or something like that?
I thought his athleticism was believable.
Oh, yeah, when he threw the football?
Just in general, he had to do a lot of stuff. And they've also blended the footage. Because people, I like football movies. You probably like football movies. I'm probably going to watch any football movie if it's halfway decent.
What's your favorite?
Rudy's pretty top up there.
Weren't you disappointed, though, when they said it wasn't like that? Whenever you like Joe Montana goes, I know he was on the team. Because they threw the jerseys on
Hollywood.
The thing.
It's okay. It doesn't. It's a myth.
Jerk.
That's fine. It doesn't matter.
It still was a great movie.
Yeah, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than reality.
I'm gonna tell you a mess up in Rudy.
Sure.
When he finds out, when you rewatch it, because you rewatch football movies, when he finds out he got accepted to Notre Dame, he's on a bench, supposed to be at the junior college. He's got these K-Swiss on. Didn't come out till '93.
And what year is it supposed to be?
The 70s.
Oh, 70s.
It's like this. I'm there watching going, I had those shoes. They came out in 93, those K-Swiss.
Someone pointed out or you found that yourself?
I found that myself.
That's
I go,
pretty good.
those K-Swiss were not out.
Yeah,
in the
K-Swiss
70s.
as a brand probably wasn't around, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was like this. When you rewatch it, be like this. Yeah, Gary's good. He knows that shit.
That's interesting.
Rudy's good.
Titans is good.
Remember the Titans is really good.
I don't know. Longest Yard, the old one, was good.
You know what's an underrated football movie? All the Right Moves with Tom Cruise.
Sure, that is a good one.
The high school one. Growing up, when you're a Midwest guy, Midwest, you played high school football?
I did, not well, but I played it, yeah.
So we were on the same team.
Yeah.
Not very good, but I was on the team,
Yeah.
playing a little bit. I thought that was so accurate.
Yeah.
For the small town and how the mentality is.
Yeah.
And how you can just, one mess up. God, that was a good movie.
Yeah. Friday Night Lights is fun, obviously. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
That was a little more, I won't say Hollywoodish, but it was a little more pop.
Well, the movie
thought.
was, but the TV show too. Like that was a little grittier.
Yeah. Did you read the book?
I did not read the book.
Oh, the book's pretty
Good?
good.
Pretty great?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. And have you been to Odessa, Texas?
No, but I think that's where Urlacher's from. Brian Urlacher.
Is he?
I think he was from that area, yeah.
There's nothing there.
No.
Odessa.
That's why
Perryman?
Friday night is like everybody's there at the football stadium.
I had to drive by the stadium. I read the book and saw the movie, so I had a show there.
Yeah.
And I said, "Where's the football stadium?" And they took me there, and I go, "Wait a minute, why there's nothing
else here."
And it's interesting about that area. What I found out is Odessa, Texas, is there's not a lot of restaurants, but it's a lot of oil fields and the drills. So they won't allow people to build because they need the
Oil rights.
space. And they're like there's a what was the guy? Roy Williams, the old wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He took his money and invested in like the oil rigs and the oil and the water trucks to keep the what they call those things?
Derricks? Or
Derricks.
pumps,
The derricks.
whatever,
Yeah. He's got he bought like 2-3 of them. He's pumping it.
Wow.
He's got these water trucks. So he invested his money correctly. He's killing it right now. And he's the one that gave me the lowdown on Odessa. And he was telling me, he goes, yeah, he said, I tried to bring up Papados here and they wouldn't let me. The restaurant.
Really?
Because he was like, taking up too much space. I was like, wow. They just, but if you fly over Odessa, it's barren. And then you'll see like just a crazy mansion. And then it'd be all this space and then another crazy mansion. And you're like, the boys got oil money out there, man.
And probably a lot of pumps, right?
Yeah, the derricks. You see the derricks all over.
All over, yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. There's nothing else going on out there. So I'm sure it's like just guys crushing it financially and then struggling.
Wow.
There's probably not a lot of in between in Odessa, which makes the movie even more interesting, I think.
Where else did Roy Williams play? I feel like
Texas, Detroit. Well,
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah.
And then he played with the Cowboys.
I watched him play when he came through with the Bears. Yeah, I saw him play. Yeah.
You're a huge Bears fan, obviously.
I'm a big
You brought
Bears
up
fan,
Urlacher.
Yeah.
From
that's my team.
birth?
Odessa.
From birth?
Yeah, that was like my dad would take me to football games. That was like a nice bonding moment. I'm like one of 7 kids, so whenever I had alone time with my dad, was kind of like he had these tickets that he would either take customers or his buddies, his old bar buddies he would go to games with.
So wait a minute, you was at a good age when they won the 86.
Yeah.
When they won,
Yeah.
you was like early 20s then.
Yeah.
That's a good age for your team to go to the Super Bowl and party in the city.
That was really fun. Yeah, I was in college. Yeah, it was amazing.
Did you watch the ESPN? There was a couple different ones. There was one on Buddy Ryan.
Yep.
That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and Rex was in there. He was talking about his dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another one, actually. I got to do, a friend of mine from Chicago made another documentary and kind of made it more Chicago-centric.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets into more like the routing, he called it the greatest team ever. And it's another and I got to do voiceover for it. I got to be the narrator for that.
Really?
Yeah, which was amazing. Like somebody offered me like, do you want to do narration for an 85 Bears? I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Like, I'll do it for nothing.
And they offered you money?
Just a little. It wasn't for the money. It was just like,
that's what I'm saying.
And a bunch of nice guys made it. I think it's called The Greatest Team Ever. It's such like a ridiculous title, but
it's working.
It's out there. You could probably Google it now. If somebody types in greatest team ever, Chicago
greatest
Bears.
team ever.
Chicago Bears, greatest team ever. But
I
yeah, and they
known
get
that
into,
before. I'm sorry, Matt.
and there's like good stuff in there. There's like that week they were in New Orleans, like Jim McMahon had a death threat about him.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
yeah, because somebody on a radio station said he called all New Orleans women sluts or something like that, which
really?
he didn't say. And then they were out every night, drinking. And
It's a different time.
Oh, completely. It's good. There's some good nuggets in there that haven't been, because they keep making like that.
What do you think? You think that was the greatest team ever?
I think you could make an argument for it, but I mean, I don't know. There's so many.
I think they remind me of the '85 Bears remind me of a team like I think you can make that argument, but they were just burning candles from both ends. They were going so hard.
Yeah.
And I think once they won it, they were going extra hard in the offseason. I was like, yeah, it's going to be hard to come back from that. They went hard during the season. After the season, I was like that was going to be a tough one to repeat with that team.
Yeah. And I think, too, Ditka had, Doug Flutie the next year, and I think he benched McMahon in the playoff game against Washington because he was that guy. He had to be contrarian. Sometimes these guys, I don't know if he had an ego thing with McMahon, and then they should have won another Super Bowl with that.
At least
with that many pieces sticking around for several years after that Super Bowl. They should have won. And I also think some of those hardcore personality guys, like My Way or the Highway, these are grown men. You don't have to teach them anything. Just keep them in shape, maybe the plays, run the plays, but you don't have to motivate them. You know what I mean? Some of these old school coaches that wouldn't work, like Lovie Smith was when he was in Chicago, the players I met that were under Lovie, they loved it because he would we don't need to do contact 3 days a week. We're going to do contact one, maybe not even. You know what I mean? Because it prolonged their careers. And game time, they know how to do it. You know what I mean? It's like being an NBA coach. If you came in with a college mentality like PJ Carlesimo did, and you think you can teach these boys how to play the game, and they're professional men. You got to work with them.
Yeah.
And let them fly, and then try to support them.
I think
I think Ditka burned some bridges is what I mean. I think he was a little too tight-fisted.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I think that's why nowadays a lot of these teams are going to the young guys in their early 30s because they are more collaborative. They get it. They're like, I'm coaching you, but I'm letting you be you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think obviously there's the Belichick version where you just grind. I'll plug anybody into my system and I'll play these margins where we can get 5 yards of play and I'll beat you because we'll have the ball when the clock's got a minute left and we'll kick a field goal and we'll walk off and you'll be like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
So there's those efficient, coaches that can almost win with anyone too.
Yeah. When I watched the one thing on the Bears, I was like, God, it seemed like everybody at university was just so sad. Oh, Walter Payton didn't get in the end zone.
Yeah.
That was the one, honestly, the whole season, the one drawback from the whole season was that.
And they talk about that in the doc. It was it's sad a little bit. And that was kind of, even the guys on the team were like, come on, give him the ball. And at the end of the day, he was happy they won a Super Bowl, of course. But he was I don't know, the greatest player, running back for that decade by far. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah. He was my favorite as a little kid. I mean, I
Unbelievable.
like Walter Payton.
Unbelievable.
Jeez. Some of those runs when they show him in slow motion and him holding the ball like this and only guy wearing kangaroos.
And you got to remember, there was no passing game, so they're stacking the box and they know he's getting the ball. It was one of those offenses. It was like Jim Brown back in the day. It's we're gonna give the ball to this guy, and we didn't really have a great line even at times, and they still won games. But that's how he got beat up. That's how he carried teams. That's even harder to do. Extend your career at that. Emmitt Smith, great running back, but he played on great passing offenses too, and he caught passes out of the backfield prolifically too. So it extends your career a little more, and keeps people guessing on the other side of the ball. So he was even more impressive knowing the terrible teams that he was stuck on.
Well, that's funny you say that because it goes back to what you were saying. I think Jimmy Johnson was one of the first coaches that was like, oh, no, there's not a set. He said the funniest thing that I ever heard him say was he cut somebody in training camp, some undrafted rookie, because he fell asleep in a meeting. And one of the reporters said, what if Emmitt Smith would have fell asleep? Emmitt Smith would have fell asleep. He goes, I would have gave him a pillow. It's not where the highway is. No, there's hierarchy here. You can get away with more shit if you're that guy. He's not that guy. I'd give him a pillow.
I have a buddy who played Division III football at I think John Carroll in Ohio.
In Ohio, yeah.
And London Fletcher played there, and he would never show up for practices. And I think one time the coach is like, we're going to bench him. We're not going to play him. And he was like super best guy in the probably Division III.
You think?
Right. In all of Division III football. And when the coach told the team he's going to bench him, all the players were like, well, we're not playing. Like, they were like, you're out of your fucking mind. Right. They were just like, we're not going to be pros. We want to win.
Really? You're going to bench London? We're fine with him as a practice.
Or they busted the coach's balls back because they're like, well, then we're not playing, coach. Yeah. Like, this is pickup football anyways. And you're it's not like Division I football. It's a little more casual.
Yeah. Coach, there's 200 people in the stands.
Yeah.
And they're all our relatives.
He's like the fastest guy by like 2 seconds, by anyone.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this guy's got a shot to go to the NFL. So you're not going to give him that shot by benching him?
Yeah, I want to teach him a lesson.
Yeah.
Because he didn't show up to film day or whatever the punishment was for,
Nobody cares 10 years from now.
Yeah.
If London Fletcher went to practice or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a Bulls fan too?
Yeah.
God.
I'm very Chicago. Like, I follow the Bulls
Most people
less strictly. Yeah. I follow them less strictly. The Bears, I'm on top of, like, off-season and stuff like that, and the Bulls, and then the Blackhawks if they make the playoffs.
I forgot to tell you my great story about the Bears.
Oh, please.
So they're running back right now, David Montgomery, right? So my grandpa's in the hospital. He's a Cincinnati kid. My grandpa's in the hospital, doesn't have a lot of time left, cancer, So David Montgomery's dad is one of his nurses. So I would go see my grandpa, and I started talking to his dad all the time. And he said, yeah, we were talking about high school football in Cincinnati. He said, yeah, my son plays, da-da-da. And he took such good care of my grandpa. I said, hey, man, I'm gonna make a game next year. Now, I don't know who his son is at all. He was just so good to my grandpa. I was like, I'm going to make a game next year, man. I promise. I'm going to make one game.
At the high school?
At his son's high school.
Got it.
Because that's all we did was talk football. We talked Bengals and everything else.
Yeah.
So he goes, all right. So I found out that his son was going to play my old high school.
Okay.
So I'm with his dad to pull up the schedule. And keep in mind, the football season's 6 months away.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to go to that one. Let's say October 12th. And so I went to the game. Dave Montgomery was a quarterback in high school.
Really?
He was a quarterback, safety, kicker, punter. Never came off the field. And I get done. It's 42-0 at half. They're beating my high school, right? And I looked at him. I looked at his dad and go,
were you sitting with the dad?
Yeah. I was like, you didn't tell me your son was the fucking guy. I'm thinking his son might get in a little bit.
He was so modest and slow playing you.
So I got a picture of me and David after the game. And it was funny because then he ended up going to Iowa State.
Yeah. Switched
him to running back. And then he got drafted by the Bears. So, I mean, the nicest, most politest kid you ever want to meet in your life. Like, when I say Boy Scout, was in the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Like, literally got pictures with the Boy Scout shit on.
Wow.
And, like, I was just like, I looked at his dad and go, I thought I was going to see, like, I don't know, some third-string guard, because dad was a little heavy. He goes, hey, my son's 12. I was like this. Oh, he's pretty big. The game started, I go, what the fuck's going on right now? They couldn't.
Quarterback keeper.
They couldn't tackle him.
Quarterback keeper.
I was like this. That guy's he's a tank. It looked like almost like they were just like, you ever see like those National Geographic where it takes like all those little animals to eat a big one?
Yeah.
That's dead. Like,
yeah.
And they look like
hyenas jumping on a water buffalo.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
But the water buffalo was still
bouncing
alive.
Off.
They're just bouncing off. I was like this. What the fuck, man? And now he's with the Bears. So, like, from afar, me being such a, like, you are Chicago, a Cincinnati guy.
Yeah.
I'm always rooting for those Cincinnati guys that end up doing something. So, David I'm always a fan from afar just because he was such a nice guy too. And his dad took care of my grandpa and everything.
Oh, that's great. I'll have to meet. I've never met him, but I'm psyched that he's on our team. We have a good backfield.
They just let go of Tariq.
That's
Cohen.
fine. Unfortunately, I feel bad for him. He had some injuries. I don't know if he'll get to the peak, like quickness, scatterback he had, but I think he had 4 years. But it's kind of a bummer for him. But I don't think he was going to make a difference on the team.
Exciting time though. I mean, going to your second year, you got the quarterback.
Yeah, got a new coach and a new general manager, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that we have a person of color in the front office.
Right.
Which is great.
Yeah.
All these like white old people walking around.
That's what I like about the Bengals is they got a young head coach, man.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor, and it's such a different vibe over there because I'm diehard And, you know.
Did you go to the Super Bowl?
Row 1.
Wow.
Wasn't missing that. I splurged.
Did you just go on like StubHub or something, or did you get season tickets through Cincinnati? How'd you get?
Interesting
What was
how
your
I got
hookup?
them.
Give me your hookup.
So, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union have a suite at SoFi. You're not allowed to. The NFL buys the suites when it goes to the Super Bowl, I guess.
Got it.
So they're not. But I guess being a suite holder, they have the option to buy tickets.
Got it.
So it's almost
seat license.
Chicago connection here. So Dwayne, Chicago guy.
Yeah.
He had promised Ashton Kutcher to sell the 8 tickets that Dwayne bought, right?
Okay.
Ashton was going to buy them off Dwayne. I'm not lying. When the Bengals beat the Chiefs, somebody FaceTimed me from Dwayne's suite. And everybody knows I'm a diehard Bengals fan. So the whole suite's congratulating me, but I can't really hear them because I'm going nuts. I'm going, I can't hear you, but I know you guys saying thank you. Thank you guys so much. The next day, Dwayne's assistant, Chantel, called, and she was like, yo, Ashton backed out. He's not getting the tickets. And I go, what? He goes, so everybody in the suite goes, you got to offer at least 2 to Gary. You got to. So they said, well, I said, how many's he got? He goes, 8. I go, I want all 8. And they was like this, what? I go, I want all 8. So they gave me the price. And I was like, all right. They said, he needs the money by February 3rd. I said, it'll be there in an hour.
You locked it up.
I called my banker. I was like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Stop. I go, wire this money into this account ASAP. So I bought the 8, right? I used 4. I sold the other 4 and made money off the 4
That's
that I
smart.
sold.
Yeah. Cover your.
Yeah, so I made a little money off the Super Bowl. And then the Bengals had a big rally to send the team off to L.A. on the Monday before the game.
Mm-hmm.
30,000 people showed up at the stadium just to say goodbye to the team. And again, the team called and was like, you want to host the rally? And I was like, you with that documentary. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, then they offered to pay me. I went, I wasn't going to say it, but I was going to say yes regardless. There was no negotiating. I was like, yeah, here's my pride. Oh, okay, that works.
Yeah.
You know? Such a fun season, man.
Oh, my God.
Being like diehard and being terrible for so long. Now we got the quarterback. Oh.
No, I got a buddy who's a Bengals fan. I kind of was like dialed into the season because we beat you guys. One of our early victories.
It was like game 2 or 3
in Chicago, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't think I was there. I think I watched it, but so I didn't think. I remember like texting my buddy like, "Well, we both suck, so this is like the battle of the worst teams," because it was early.
Yeah,
and Burrow was coming back from the injury, and people didn't know how good he was going to be. But what an exciting year! Like that's a great team. Like what an exciting
That was the Bears game though was an eye opener for me with the Bengals because we were flat the whole game. We were down by like 17. It was like 20-3 with like 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
and then Burrow hit that bomb to Jamar. And I was like, oh. And then we stopped you guys. And then we scored again. I go, oh, the Burrow's wired different.
Yeah.
Like he's locked in. And then Justin Fields came in for Dalton. And that's when we had a third down. He ran it. And I was like, and we couldn't get the ball back. But I was like, if we get the ball back, we're going to win this game. We're locked in. I was like, that, even though we lost that game, I was like, oh, we're going to be in every game. Because the old Bengals would have packed up when 5 minutes left. We're done.
We got Andy Dalton on our bench. I think he's going to be there this year.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Not Joe Burrow.
He's good.
He's durable. And he's not a cancer in the locker room. Like, he's going to really support Justin.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be like, man, screw him. I ain't helping out, man.
Yeah, I think they got him for a couple years. I think they picked him up last year, and I think we still have him. Yeah.
And then Rodgers coming back.
Yeah, he got big money, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yeah, that guy. He kills us every year, whatever.
And that's what I'm thinking.
I'm not a fan of Aaron Rodgers, but he's great athlete.
You probably look at the Packers like I look at the Steelers.
Oh, you hate them. That's your nemesis, yeah.
And then, you know, they've always had Roethlisberger, and he always beat us in the last second.
We're
like,
that's exactly right.
It's similar.
Aaron Rodgers would just come in and just get the ball with like 2 minutes left and just
and he was
fix
talking
it.
shit to the Bears this year, wasn't
this
he?
Year, I own you.
I remember that. The Bulls got a good team this year, though.
They sure do.
Out of left field.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Those Jordan years, man. I went to game 6 of the Bulls Jazz game.
Really?
Jordan pushed off for Russell.
Was it in
Russell.
Utah?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Russell left me tickets. The one he got pushed off,
Yeah.
left me seats. He was just a friend. Like, he hired me to do a couple parties of his doing stand-up.
Uh-huh.
And little did I know they would go to the finals that year. And all of a sudden they called and said, hey, we got some extra tickets if you want to go.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, yeah. And I asked a buddy of mine to go with me. We drove. We drove from L.A. to Utah, Salt Lake, that morning. We left that morning to get to the game. And we get there, my buddy starts rooting for the Bulls. I go, hey, asshole, I'm leaving you tickets, and we're going to Brian's house after the game. And he's like, I said, could you at least, like, act like you like the Jazz? And then don't you hate guys like this?
Oh, you went to his house after the game when they lost?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. He was acting like nothing's a big deal.
Really?
He literally like this. He goes, hey, he pushed off. Like, that's what he said.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have had a ring. Well,
I know.
they wouldn't have won, right?
Game 7.
Where was the series at? Was it like 3-2?
Utah. Yeah, it was the 2-3-2 time.
So
first 2 was in Utah. The 3 in the middle was
Chicago.
Because remember, the Bulls were up 3-1, and the Jazz won Game 5 in Chicago and sent it back to Utah.
Okay.
And then Game 6, the
so
betting
it was 3-2.
odds the betting odds was Utah wins that game and Chicago wins in 7.
Got it.
That was the betting odds.
Okay.
But Jordan had other plans.
Yeah.
But really, Brian was just like, hey, pushed off.
Wow.
Thought nothing. But that's his personality.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, it's whatever.
That's
you know what I mean?
Pro, yeah.
But that guy brought with me, he kept doing this shit. Like the Jazz would go up at like 4 or 5. He goes, it's over. That's it, man. It's over. I was like this. You don't believe that. Shut the fuck up. You don't believe that. That's what bothered me when somebody's being obvious. I was like this.
Come
Dude,
on.
you got Jordan.
Yeah.
Stop saying 5 points is nothing to him.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What I remember at that game, for some reason, they kept going to David Hasselhoff, the Jumbotron.
Cutting to him.
Like, he had courtside seats.
Were you jealous? Like, why not me?
No.
I'm funnier than that guy.
I wasn't on the court.
Okay.
But he kept going like, they go to him, he go, yeah! The whole time. And then they went to Leonardo DiCaprio because Titanic just came out.
Oh.
And that's when the whole crowd went, huh? And I didn't realize there were so many teenage girls in the audience because then it went, ah! And then it went back to Hassel. It was funny. The camera guy was going to Leo to Hasselhoff. Like,
back and forth.
Back and forth. And everybody went nuts when David Hasselhoff came on. And Leo, they'd be like, yeah! That's all I kept doing the whole game.
That was good. Stockton Malone, that was a good one. So this is you just talk about games on this podcast.
We just talk, man.
I was going to say, like, who finds this interesting? We're reliving games we've won.
Huh? I don't know. We're rambling, bro.
I know. It's so funny. Who is listening to this? Two guys talking about games we watched.
Trust me. There are people like this. I remember that game, bro.
This is a rewatch podcast.
From VEEP,
Sports rewatch podcast. I saw the Fog Bowl. I saw the Shank putt.
Listen, man.
Bengals.
You should have known by the set what was happening.
Yeah.
And this floats. And I always say it didn't float till Joe Burrow got to Cincinnati.
Ooh, spooky.
Yep.
My buddy Todd Loizo, he's a big Bengals fan. He's an actor. You should have him come on.
There's never, we can't find him. You've got Nick Lachey and
this guy's
Bootsy Collins.
Awesome.
They always say George Clooney, but I don't think he's diehard like that. And Woody Harrelson, they say, is Bengals fan.
Okay, that's good.
But they're not diehard.
No.
Like,
and
you
it's
think
kind of a
Snoop,
small market team, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah. So that's
like
even
Bears
more
fans,
of an
you guys are
underdog.
deep.
That's a big market, and it's an old, like an original 6 team or whatever it was. The original.
With the Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know
History.
who the Bears fans are. You know Ashton Kutcher. You know Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Like, you know who they are.
Yeah.
Like, just like you know who the Steeler fans are.
Yeah.
You don't know the Bengal fans.
Well, now they're going to start coming out of the woodwork. Everybody's on the bandwagon.
Yeah. And they better remember who was there from jump.
You were.
Yeah. Every camera on me right now? From jump, guys. Yeah, camera 1. Yeah. Clearly, Matt want to talk more about his career. I'm sorry, Matt.
No, not at all.
We got
we went
sports
deep.
talking.
I know. I was just making fun of us. I can be super boring, man.
It's like this.
I'll listen to your stories about games and
I love talking
tickets.
sports, though.
Yeah.
But it goes back. It's like behind the scenes type stuff, man. You know what I mean?
No, I'm impressed if you get like a Super Bowl ticket. That's kind of a miracle. Like, that's pretty cool.
And
I've never been to a Super Bowl.
Really?
My brothers went when they went. The Bears went. My brothers, my dad all went down there, and they had like an RV, and they drove down there. And
that was in New Orleans, right?
Yeah, they got to go to New Orleans, and that was a fun trip. But I was in college at the time, so I couldn't really. I could have ditched out, but I don't know why I didn't.
So if the Bears would go, you would find a way to go now, right?
Well, when they played the Indianapolis Colts,
that's
I was
right.
living in L.A. 2005 or 6.
You didn't go?
Whatever. I didn't go. No, I was here. But
Next time you got to go.
I think I probably didn't have money to go or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I would go next time. Yeah.
You got to go.
Yeah.
Because I've been offered tickets. Obviously, I got to buy them, and they're expensive and everything. But I said to myself, I'd always say, no, I'm not interested. No, I'd rather watch on TV, go to Super Bowl party. There was no freaking way I was missing the Bengals. Because last time they went was a couple years after the Bears went, 89.
Yeah. Plus, were you in a box? Were you in Dwayne Wade's box for the game?
No, it was first row.
Oh, shit.
He
You
bought.
gotta go.
He bought.
He took
eight
his license,
row one
yeah.
tickets, row one tickets, and I bought. And we were right in the corner of the end zone where Cooper Kupp caught the touchdown to win it. I was like, "Can I pick a worse place to be right now?"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we were so fucking close.
I know.
Jesus Christ,
That
man.
guy's amazing. though. Cooper Kupp had like best season ever for a receiver, probably.
Yeah, you think?
And I was happy for Stafford. I watched him play a lot in
Detroit.
Chicago. And he was always like such a tough, kind of like Roethlisberger, like always getting hit and coming back, and like just a really great athlete, tough as nails. So I was happy for him.
How about we?
And on terrible, like Detroit's a cursed franchise. I mean, that's a tough.
They're the Bengals of the NFC before Burrow
I feel
got
like
there.
Bengals have had a couple Super Bowls in the last 30 years, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Detroit, I don't think so. I don't know when their last Super Bowl was.
If you could do a sports movie,
A sports movie.
who would you want to play?
The Walter Payton story. No.
Dude, you'd have to crush that audition.
I know.
You're like Will Smith in Pursuit of Happiness. What would I say if I casted a white guy to play a black running back? He must have had a really good audition.
I don't know. At this point, I'd have to play a coach.
You gotta
like
be a
great
coach.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that question. Who would you want to play in a sports movie?
Who would I want to play?
Yeah.
I'm easy. Troy Aikman, because I look like him.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. You could
That's
play.
easy. You know what I mean? I'm like this. Oh, Floyd Mayweather.
I have actually a sports movie I wrote with my buddy Tim, who I do the podcast with, about a guy who's like 20 years out of college football and then goes back because he has one redshirt year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And we're trying to get it made.
So
we'll see.
he's 38.
Well, he was like 20, whatever. He's like 40 in the fiction of the movie. He's like 40.
Football movie?
Yeah.
1 year eligibility?
Yeah, he's got 1 year left. And then he finds out when his dad died, he has to go back home to the college. And then he finds out that there's a kid that was his. He never knew he had. And so he decides to play for the team. And it's just a hard R comedy,
He's playing with his son?
Yeah. Picture like Rob Riggle playing the guy. Like, I love Rob Riggle. So.
Or what? That'd be funny though if his son's like the center.
No, his son is the blocking tight end.
Oh, okay.
Second string blocking tight end.
You suck, son.
Yeah.
You suck.
Yeah. And he's got no ego, and he's a Boy Scout. He's like an Eagle Scout. He's completely
The
different.
son is?
Yeah, and the old man's like Johnny Manziel, like gunslinger, gambler, breaking rules.
No way. You tell me a guy wants to go play 1 year of college football? No, he's got his shit together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that guy, that's a good dad.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a movie that I would be in as like a coach or like a corrupt booster who.
Have you shopped it?
We're trying to move it. Yeah, we have some people attached, and we have a director. So knock on wood.
I'd watch that.
pull
I'd
you
watch
in.
a movie like
I'll
that.
pull you in. You can play like a one-line coach and yell at some kids or something.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I had you on.
Huh?
That's the only reason I said, somebody said, you got
What
a
are you
sports
gonna,
movie
What
shopping.
are you going to give me now? What do I get?
I'm giving you lunch.
Oh, okay.
From
That's true.
Tequila Organica. You've never had it.
I
You're
get
about to
my
have a
veggie taco.
vegetarian taco on the way home,
Well,
man.
you made it sound so healthy. I figured I'll go super
It's so
healthy.
good.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Mexican is good.
Here you go.
Mexican
There you go,
vegetarian is
Matt.
always good.
That's for you.
What is this?
I don't know. It just felt like you want something.
Vince Lombardi trophy. All right.
Anything else we can get, Matt?
No, I don't need any.
Chips. We got a variety of
No.
sodas, paper towels.
This is VIP treatment. No, I'm good. I'm
You sure,
I'm
Matt?
Happy. Yeah, yeah. We're good.
All right.
We're good. You didn't get the part yet, so I could totally renege on that.
Hold on.
I could totally go Hollywood and say, yeah, call
Hold on,
me.
Matt.
Call me, man. Call me.
It's
Who?
one line. I
Gary
gotta come
who?
audition.
Gary who? I never told him that.
No, I'm the guy from the stands. You suck, old man.
Yeah.
My one line like this. You gotta do that again, Gary.
Yeah.
Emphasize more on suck. What? You suck. Oh man. Not really feeling it.
Yeah.
And you're the guy. You're in the casting room. Like Matt, the podcast. You're like those tacos sucked. I had gas for 3 weeks.
No, right
Gary.
before you come in, I would just ditch out of the audience. Oh shit, I gotta go. And you're looking. You walk in, you're like, where is he? Oh, he's not here. He's not here. You're like hiding. Is he gone? Is he gone? Oh, this is awkward, man.
No, it sounds like it sounds like an hysterical movie.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun
If you're a
world.
sports
No,
fan-
I do love sport. Like I do love sports movies, and so we'll see. But that's something. When you asked me, that's what it made me think of. You said like, what's a sports movie you would like to be in? I don't think I have a hero that I could play at this point, but I would love to be in a sports movie. I was in Semi-Pro. That's a sports movie.
Yeah.
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 That was
Hybrid.
fun. Hybrid.
Yeah.
What do you mean hybrid? Fictional sport?
Yeah.
Wait, why is that hybrid? That's a real sport, basketball. What do you mean hybrid? It's
Oh,
not
that
like
is
basketball.
a true story. What am I talking about?
It's not basketball. It's
Yeah.
not like the fictional sport.
Yeah. I guess when you think Will Ferrell, you always think the ice skating movie,
Yeah.
the NASCAR movie,
Yeah.
the basketball movie.
Yeah.
Has he done a football movie? That's probably the
think
only
so.
sport he hasn't touched. I know he did the thing at training camp with the baseball team.
Yeah,
in the
that was
baseball
cool.
movie.
That was impressive.
Did you see him a couple weeks ago going out with the Golden State Warriors? He came
No.
out in the Tropics outfit.
Oh, he did?
Oh, it was hysterical. The Warriors.
Oh,
are
my
getting
friend
into-
told me that.
Oh my God.
My friend who directed that actually told me to watch that, and I didn't watch the pregame. That's
oh, really?
funny, yeah.
Oh my God. When they're running out, it's a real game. Golden State's run out, and Will, head down, like he's really on the team. I go, wait a minute, because literally,
So everybody has a Warriors jersey but him, and his
no,
says
he's
Tropics?
in a Tropics
Yeah.
outfit. He's Jackie Moon with the
Flint
headband and
Tropics.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
And he's literally like Klay Thompson. He's like doing this, and Klay Thompson just draining threes in pregame warmups and acting like he don't even see him. I go, dude, this guy's he's an assassin with the 3-point line, because Will, he'll go get the ball and come back like he's gonna, and Klay's just wick all net every time. I'm like this. Only
That's so
Will
awesome. I know. Only
can do
Will
shit
Ferrell-
like that.
Yeah.
Me or you, we're banned.
Yeah.
Don't ever come to Chase Center or Warrior game again.
That's cool that Steve Kerr allowed that, basically, right?
Yeah.
He said, Kerr, sure. Keep it loose.
It's like middle of the season.
You know what's
82
funny?
games.
I met the guys. I did a USO tour with a couple of Washington Nationals the year they won the World Series.
Mhm.
And they were pretty funny, and they kept it loose. And they felt like one of the things that helped their season was they had a lot of fun on the road, and they kept it pretty loose. They weren't overly serious, like for a long season like baseball. So in a way, Steve Kerr letting Will Ferrell do that, I think bodes well for their chances for some. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes when people are too uptight, like I was saying with Ditka, they just get so fucking uptight. Like, just relax. Like, we know what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a long ass season, so let's have some fun. And like, and one of the things that baseball guys he told me is they would just get on the mic and say, okay, the mic's live, and you could text anything to the guy on the mic, and he had to read it out loud.
Oh, for real?
So the most filthy, vulgar shit was getting said on the bus.
Oh.
And so it's just like, okay, we're going live on the mic right now. He would take the bus driver's mic, and they would start reading it, which sounded really fun.
I heard Rudy talk about that. I heard Rudy was filmed at like halftime of a Notre Dame game.
Yeah.
Like a real Notre Dame. Can you imagine going to a football game and they're just filming a movie at halftime? Like,
They did that with that Jimmy Fallon baseball movie at a World Series game or something. That Boston, he was dating Drew Barrymore a long time ago. But I remember that, like they were shooting scenes in between innings. So yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So they had real footage of a World Series game, and it was also written into the script.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I went to a Raiders game against the Bengals in 2015, and I didn't know what's the late night talk show from England that does the car karaoke. I'm just brain farting right now.
James Corden.
James Corden, right? I'm sorry, I brain farted. He kicked the field goal at halftime in a full Raiders outfit, and his show hadn't aired yet.
Wow.
So I was going, who's the chubby guy? That's not Sebastian Janikowski.
Yeah.
And then it was like some sketch he did for the talk show that aired that week. And I go, oh, shit. I had no idea what they were doing.
And he made it?
I can't remember.
Okay.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
I don't think he did. I was more just like kind of watching, like, why is that chubby guy got the Raiders outfit on all
Yeah.
the cameras? I was like, oh, and I had never seen his show. It just started airing. It just came out. So, enough sports talk, Matt.
Sure.
So, what's the movie called that I'm in?
It's called Redshirt Senior. Instead of Redshirt Freshman, Redshirt Senior. Again,
Hey, we're going to get an
don't
offer
talk to
from
your
Matt
agent.
Walsh.
No, it's not even, no. It's so
Manager.
far away from being made.
Manager, Matt.
It's so far away. Or your
Listen,
manager.
Listen, 2024. We
Yeah.
got this movie called
It'll come out
Redshirt
in
Freshman.
2024. Knock on wood.
Matt's going to send the offer. Okay.
Well, we
Thanks,
gotta
Lisa.
get money first. Tell him. Just tell him to keep it on his radar. If he gets a call in a year from now.
Sagman.
Yeah, Sagman. Good faith. Yeah, favored nations. Everybody's doing it for the love of the game.
Yeah, it's all about the trailer. Can I get the Biggs trailer?
Yeah.
Thanks. You got Rob Riggle. Yeah. Walter Payton's son. Yeah, Jared's going to be in it. Yeah, me. All right, I don't want to hold you up too much. Lunch came, and I want your tacos to be hot. So I do appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, man.
I hope it was interesting to your fans.
Yeah,
I felt like we just went really deep about games we remember.
It was 10 minutes of
deep about, you got those tickets? Who was sitting next to you?
we
People at
name
home are
dropped.
like, I got a life, man. I can't.
Let me ask you this before you go.
Yeah.
Anybody you haven't worked with that you want to work with?
Oh
Who
my
would be one?
God.
If like they said, Matt, it's the movie, you can pick whoever you want to be in it with you.
Well, to that question, there's, for example, a show called Station 11. Did you see it? It was on HBO. It was like a limited series, like 8 or 10 part series. Like the creator of that show, that's like how I think. Like it's not necessarily actors. It's like, for example, that's a show that like I watched that show. I'm like, that would be a really cool world to step into. Or that's a really cool writer. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I think Patrick Somerville is his name, for example. That's a great show if you haven't checked it out.
Station 11?
Station 11.
What's it
was on-
about?
it was on HBO. It's a post-apocalyptic world where a pandemic wipes out 98% of the population.
Jesus.
But it's oddly hopeful. Like
Hmm.
in the beginning of it, throughout the thing, you follow like this acting troupe who's sort of rebuilding humanity by doing art in front of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like weirdly optimistic. And there's like bleakness to it, but they don't linger in it ever. They just try to focus on like what is possibly hopeful in this world. And that's what's beautiful about it.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful and it's wonderful. And it's like kind of a love letter to Chicago because there's like a couple episodes because they follow like 4 different groups of characters, if you will, and they intersect. And then one episode, you might just follow this character for the whole episode. But there's a couple characters that start their journey when like the shit hits the fan in Chicago and they're holed up in Chicago and it's winter and it's just beautiful. Like it's such, I have such nostalgia for Chicago. It's like if somebody shot a movie in Cincinnati and like 2 episodes were all about making Cincinnati look amazing. So
You made it sound like a Bengals fan before Joe Burrow got there. And now that he's there, we got hope.
yeah,
Like, it was hopeful.
yeah,
I just brought it all back to sports again. I'm sorry, Matt.
That's
I
all
didn't
right.
want to break the theme of the show.
that's
So
right.
I just wanted to bring it back.
Do you have a favorite college game you've watched? Who do you like in the NCAA? We'll finish up with that. Do you follow
I'm
college
nostalgic,
hoops?
so I think I would love to see Coach K go out
Yeah,
and just
I like Duke
won.
too. Yeah.
On the other side, Gonzaga's been so close
Yeah.
so many times. It's like Gonzaga or Duke, unless you're going to tell me like there's a Norfolk State, a 16 seed to run it,
Yeah.
but just going in, Gonzaga or Duke would
Okay.
be great.
So that's your heart. Do you follow college hoops this year?
Mhm. But I'm I'm an Ohio guy. Cincinnati's not in it.
Okay.
Xavier's not very good. Ohio State's in it, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. So like you, Shaq,
So you kind of track the Ohio teams.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to come out of Ohio this year. You think that's going to go
No.
deep? Okay.
nobody.
Because I got a couple pools and I don't know anything about the college season.
It's
this
weird. I
year.
used to know everything.
Yeah, I know.
Now I know nothing.
Because you get older and you.
It
have
was
other
so
things to
watered down
track.
too. Like,
Yeah.
they're not staying 4 years. It's like hard to keep track.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And now it's like every team's on. It's hard to like keep up. I heard like St. Mary's is really good this year. Like, what? They
Really?
beat Gonzaga. I'm like, okay, maybe. Arizona's always good. Kentucky's
Yeah.
back to being good.
Arizona beat UCLA, right? Or
Mhm.
Arizona. Was it Arizona or Arizona State? Somebody beat UCLA.
It's
for
got to
the
be
Pac-12.
Arizona. They got a good team. They got a really good team. So I would say Duke or Gonzaga is who I'd pull for. Duke because it's Krzyzewski, and then Gonzaga just because they're so close.
Yeah.
Every year,
Yeah.
seems like. So.
Yeah, and they were number 1 for most of the season, right?
Mhm.
They kind of hung up top.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That's some good takeaway.
I hope I helped.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to fill out my things.
So if your bracket sucks, I'm not getting the part.
If this St. Mary's pick doesn't pan out, that's what I'm taking away. Like, I'm putting a lot of, because you got to pick an upset. So I'm going to push St. Mary's to break through whatever region they're in.
Always pick a 12 over a 5. If anything else goes wrong when your bracket's done,
Yeah.
if you got all 5 seeds winning, that never happens.
Right.
There's always a 12 beats 5. You got to go back and be like, okay, let me go with that 12 seed then.
Okay.
For some reason, that's the one
Pick a couple.
game.
Pick a couple 12s.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
I don't know what the matchup is, but
Yeah.
I always look at my bracket, I got to go back. And usually pans out. It's weird. Like, I got to go back and switch that 12 to a 12 beating a 5.
All right. That's good advice.
Mm-hmm. And don't try to overthink it. That's where people
Well, I
fuck up.
can't. I'm going to go like you, the perennials. I'll go like
Yeah.
Duke, North Carolina, like UCLA probably.
Yeah, people try to get the
Arizona.
aha.
No.
I knew Vermont would win. You're like this, dude. You threw that up against the wall. You got
Yeah.
lucky. It's
Yeah.
not. It doesn't pan out in the end.
Yeah.
The powerhouses usually come out when it's all said. and
Yeah.
done.
Who are like the big Baylor, maybe? I don't even know. Who
Baylor's
plays.
always good now.
Yeah.
For some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, hope it pans out. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Matt.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah. Hope you like your tacos.
I'll tell you. Yeah, I'll send an email to your producer.
All right.
I'll give you an update.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.